And welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to give you another series review. And this time around, we're going to be talking about the Season 1 show, The Legend of Vox Machina. So Vox Machina is an adult animated fantasy series, which was produced through by Critical Role, a production, Titmouse Inc. and Amazon Studios. I remember seeing the Kickstarter to this thing, and it got like kickstarted within a day, like amazingly. And the season 1 is based off campaign 1 of the Dungeons and Dragons web series. Critical Role is one of those series that I've heard great things about. I know some of the cast like works. So the series has Laura Bailey. Shoot, why can't I zoom in? Zoom in. Names on. Wait, really? Why won't you zoom in? There we go. Laura Bailey, Taliesin Jaffe, I think. Ashley Johnson, Matthew Mercer, Liam O'Brien, Marsha Ray, Sam Riegel, and Travis Willingham, I think so. So yeah, so I know of the whole like campaign being streamed and stuff. It's one of those things that they've done a lot. It's a very well known series and show that's streamed like every once in a while. Not every once in a while, but it's a lot. It has a huge cult following. I myself enjoy these like D&D style shows. I did a review on some of the Dimension 20 shows. I did a review for Dungeons and Daddies, that podcast which is a Dungeons and Dragons, show. So seeing a one of these Dungeons and Dragons style shows turn into an actual animated series, this is when you really dive into it. Like how well does it transition? So here's the thing, I don't know much about the actual like campaign or lore or anything about The Legend of Vox Machina. All I know is what was in the show, what I watched in the Amazon original series. That's all I know. And what's interesting is like if you have some knowledge of D&D, you can kind of see some fun things in the background. By what I mean is like how some rolls work in your head, like, oh, they rolled really good. It's just this fun thing, like if you have that D&D mindset. Besides that, going in as a like neutral party and not knowing anything, maybe because not saying just neutral, I do have a interest in these types of shows, action, adventure, fantasy. So not fully neutral, but knowing that there's already a pre-established story for them to like work with and everything, and see how it's being transitioned, I say it's fun and great. It's a great fantasy series. Kudos to the entire like party and Matt Mercer, who was the DM for this, to create this. And remember, there's only season 1. There's probably more. What I want to see, what I rewatch, go back the back catalogs and watch everything, I kind of do, but I know there's a huge catalog and of things to watch / listen, because I could listen to it, but there's a lot on my plate. But this show alone makes me want to do that. This is what's great about this show. It makes you want to go look into it even deeper and see more, because I know they kind of had to like condense it down, because it's like season 1's only campaign 1. So there's a lot that this series goes. All the characters that were created, from, let's see, you got Vex, Percy, Pike, Silas, wait, why are there two? Oh, Vax, Kalith, and wait, why can't I remember Sam Riegel's characters? Scanlan and Grog. Like, for a show individually to try to how best put it, for a show to kind of revolve around multiple characters and give them each their own like character build up, because I'm not gonna go into spoilers. It's a good show. I'm just gonna say that for a show that's trying to introduce a bunch of characters for you to care about, and enough for you to like, all right, I want to follow you along, and give them a good personality. Like I said, I didn't really know anything, but immediately within the first few episodes, you have enjoyment of everyone. You get a sense of them, and throughout the series, you get a reasonably good build-up and a taste of what each character, who they are, and what may come forward from that. For sure, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot probably that was cut out just for, content and time constraints and stuff like that. But the show alone is great. Pacing's reasonably good. I never felt bored. I always wanted to see more. The soundtrack was intense. Animation, for sure. These are the two key things as far as for a show, because the content itself already is really good because they have something to work with. The animation, the art style they use, it's great. I never felt that any of the, at least animation, felt like wonky or anything. It felt like really well done. Who did the animation for this? Actually, they didn't. They don't. They have 3 different companies for the animation, so I'm not sure. But yeah, the great animation. Like really well done. There's probably a bunch of cool hidden Easter eggs for a lot of like of the fans of Critical Role. So I'm a big fan of those things too. When it comes to like things like this, like when Marvel does their hidden Easter eggs, like yes, more power to them if they did. But as far as the show alone, for me and the story plot they went with or did, and how much enjoyment I got out of it, like I liked it. I lost a little sleep, but you know what? It's worth it, because from beginning to end, I was like, yeah, crazy, fun, loved it. Is it perfect? No, not really. Like I said, it's a condensed story from what I can feel, from what it feels like from just an outside perspective who doesn't know the whole story. Like, there's probably stuff I said in it. It feels like there's a few little things missing, but that's just context that was probably more done like on the table than it was on the show. But it flows enough that like I never felt like something was missing too much. And maybe there was stuff that was added that I don't know about. But for sure, it was a fun season 1. I want to know more. There's nothing really more I can say without spoiling it. That's a thing. So, for season 1 of The Legend of Vox Machina, what am I saying? So they had the entire cast redo their players, which is, that's if that would have been a really weird thing if they didn't do that. I know Matt repraised a couple of his roles, and it was interesting to see when other people had to take like roles that he did in the show and see how they did it. It's weird when you're the DM, you're the entire world, so someone else voicing those are like interesting. So I enjoyed because I never saw it, so it felt unique to just to watch it. Probably for other individuals, they're like, I wonder if that's how they sound like, but for me, it's like, what, I believed everything that was happening. And like I said, the animation was great. Didn't feel awkward. I didn't really see anything too bad. Art style great. The score for it was amazing. It felt intense when it needed. It had somber moments when it had to, and the pacing was good. So for season 1 of The Legend of Vox Machina, I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10. I want to see where they're going to continue. I may go into the back catalogs at a later date to kind of re-listen to some of it, just to have some fun. Like re-listening the scenes and stuff like that. Besides that, great. I'm looking forward to season 2 and seeing where the rest will go forward. So, thanks again for listening or watching. You can always follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. And if you ever want to see what we're going to be recording, our Discord channel now alerts. Like if you ever are thinking of missing a movie or show, we have a bot that literally says like this week this movie comes out. So yeah, join us on that. But until then, thank you for listening. Until next time, see ya.